Hey, thanks for stopping in. I would say for the longest time, I've always viewed procrastination as a negative thing. It just has a negative vibe to it. Everyone talks about it negatively, or they, call people procrastinator in a negative way, right? I can even think about times where there were students I would go to school with that wouldn't start projects till like the day before. Or even for myself, let's point at me. There's times where I know I have time to work on something right now, but I'll put it off till tomorrow. And then when tomorrow comes around, I do the same thing, put it off to the next day. These are your typical idea or visuals of what procrastination looks like. But what if I told you procrastination can also be productive? It can. And that's what I would like to talk to you about in today's piece. How you can practice productive procrastination. Hey everybody, Mark Johnson here, founder and creative director of Able Ape Studios, back again with another vlog. And as I mentioned, today I'll be talking about how you can practice productive procrastination. But first, if you like this video, or if you end up liking this video, definitely give it a thumbs up. If you like what I'm doing with the channel, please subscribe. And if you end up having a comment or a question or something that you just like to share because it kind of goes along with the idea of the video, definitely leave that in the comment box below. I love to start a conversation. And lastly, definitely ring that bell if you don't want to miss any of my upcoming videos. So let's get back into it. So I'm sure the idea of productive procrastination sounds counterintuitive. Yet in Austin Kleon's book, Steal Like an Artist, a book I've read and also reviewed on this channel, and if you would like to see that video, I'll leave a link in the description box below, or you can just click here. And so Austin Kleon talks about, or goes into this idea of practicing productive procrastination in this sense. I think it's good to have a lot of projects going on at once, so you can bounce between them. When you get sick of one project, move over to another. And when you're sick of that one, move back to the project you left. Practice productive procrastination. And so in that sense, I dig it. I get what he's talking about. Because, for example, if we just have one project you're working on, maybe you do have multiple projects, but you have the one project you're working on. And at a certain point, there's always going to be a tough spot, any project, whatever you may be doing. And you decide not to push through that feeling of procrastination, or you just get stuck. Some people call it artist block, some people call it writer's block. You know what I'm talking about, that feeling where it's like you're just not into that project anymore. But if you have multiple projects, you can just step over to this other project and start working on that one. Maybe it inspires you more, so it's get that flow of energy going. You get into that flow state. And I think the more you can do that, the more that you can keep moving forward, rather than getting stagnant and stuck because maybe you need a little time away from this project to kind of figure out what it is that's keeping you from getting to the next step or the next step. And if you have multiple projects, you can always be moving forward on any of them, because at a certain point, one that may be blocking you, move to another one that may be inviting you to kind of ride with it. And so another thing that he also talks about in this section is boredom. And I know for people, boredom can be a bit of a drag, in the sense that you always want something going on, you always want to be doing something, you always want to be involved in something. And there's a culture that we have out here that's
hustle, hustle, hustle. You always need to be doing something.
And I think in a sense, for creative minds, as Austin Kleon talks about, that can be a bit of a setback. And so Austin Kleon talks about it like this: take time to be bored. One time I heard a coworker say that when I get busy, I get stupid. Ain't that the truth? Creative people need time to just sit around and do nothing. I get some of my best ideas when I'm bored, which is why I never take shirts to the cleaners. I love ironing my shirts. So boring. I almost always get good ideas. If you're out of ideas, wash dishes, take a really long walk, stare at a spot on the wall for as long as you can. As the artist Maria Kalman says, avoiding work is the way to focus your mind. It's happened to me before. I think there's just something with letting your mind relax a little bit. I mean, especially if you have a project you're working on and you want to get to the next level so bad, right? But you're struggling with what to do next, or how to do it, and how to manipulate that. And in a sense, if you just take some time to be quiet, free your mind, just step away from the project, do something else that's not going to stimulate you, but more in a sense it's going to let your mind be quiet, so that answer can come, so that inspiration can come, so that idea can show up and give you the breakthrough that you're looking for. Doing things that are boring is a great way to do that. Housework is a great one. Some people talk about taking a shower. I know taking walks works for me. I know just being quiet, not necessarily meditating, not necessarily, I like to people watch, and so going places where I can do that also helps. I have a notepad, and I'll just kind of take some notes, as they come to me, not necessarily trying to get anything, just trying to be there and just being in the moment. And I think that's what he's talking about in this passage by saying that these menial things like washing dishes, ironing shirts, as he said, helps him get through those moments where he's trying to find something to help him get through, and that's by being bored. So my point here in sharing this idea of productive or practicing productive procrastination is to just kind of give you a way to kind of get through those moments. I know for myself, using this as a tool to kind of keep me motivated and to keep me inspired on projects has been very helpful. Yeah, just a project gets frustrating. It gets to a point where it's just not that exciting anymore. And that's not because I don't want to complete it. It's more or less because I'm just at a point where I just need to take a step back and find that inspiration again and let it come when it's ready to come. So yeah, that has been my video on practicing productive procrastination based on what Austin Kleon wrote in his book, Steal Like an Artist. Hopefully it's been helpful to you in some way, and it's something that you can use in the future, or at least think about in the future, and find some time to kind of, use that or practice that idea of procrastination in a positive way. If you like it, again, definitely give the video a thumbs up. If you like what I'm doing on the channel, definitely subscribe. If you have a comment or question or anything that you'd like to share based on this video or this idea of this video topic, leave that in the comment box below. I'd love to start a conversation. And lastly, make sure to ring that bell so you don't miss any of my upcoming content. So, like we always do at this time, have a blessed day. See you on the flip side. Let's go.